You start the new year, don't you, with a sense of this is going to be amazing. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to achieve. And, like everyone else, I use this time of year for a bit of reflection and a bit of forward planning and a bit of dreaming and all of that stuff. But you see, on the 2nd of January, I got up and I went downstairs and I couldn't make my coffee because the oil range in the kitchen was dead. The oil range is not only the cooker, it's also hot water and heating. In other words, it's the heart of the house. And it wouldn't light. The house was cold and there was no way of cooking. Okay, these things happen. And I got on the phone to the person who services the range, and he lives a couple of hours away, and it was only the 2nd of January, and it was icy. And he got in his van, and that evening he came round, and he looked at it, and he took it to pieces a bit, and went, yeah, okay, it's burnt out. 2 key things are burnt out. And I said, why would that happen? He said, I don't know. I'll have to open it up and have a look. But no point doing it now because I haven't got the replacement parts. So he went away. He came back the next day, opened it up, put the replacement parts in, found it needed a really good clean out. But it was okay. There's been a lot of work done in the kitchen because we're renovating the house and all of that. And he couldn't get it to light. And so he went outside to see if there's a problem with the oil tank. And he said, yeah, there is a problem with the oil tank. There's no oil. Now, I checked the oil a few days ago. We had 700 litres of oil 3 weeks ago. We haven't been through that much. Only answer is somebody's nicked our oil. Okay, these things occasionally happen, perhaps especially in the time of economic turmoil and destitution. Someone's nicked our oil. And you know what? That's not okay. That's not okay. I'm not okay with that. In fact, I'm annoyed. That's putting it mildly. People say every problem is an opportunity. An opportunity to do what? Spend €1,000 that I can ill afford right now, having to replace oil, and an opportunity to sit here for a few days in the cold because, I haven't got anything to heat the house with and having to live off bloody cheese sandwiches. A lot of the ways we're told to deal with adversity is somehow to rethink it into something super. There's nothing super about somebody stealing your oil and leaving you sitting in the cold. And I'm damn sure there's things in your life which there's nothing super about. Sometimes things happen which are just not okay. But somehow we have to find a way of being okay with them. How do you get to feel okay about things that are not okay? Well, for me, the starting point is this: presence. Get present. One of the 8 principles of presence that's at the heart of Self with Others, the work that I share with the world. One of the 8 principles of presence is pay attention to things you can do something about. What can I do something about? I can't do anything about the fact that somebody's nicked my oil. I can do something about getting in more oil. I can do something to try to prevent somebody nicking my oil in future. I can do something about this. I can't do something about that. I'm not going to find out who nicked my oil. No point in thinking about it. No point in telling the police. They'll go, oh, yeah, you've had your oil nicked. Great. Super. What can I do something about? Get rid of the angst, get rid of the frustration, get rid of the fury and go, what can I actually do something about? I'm not saying it's okay, it's not okay, but what can I do something about? Get present. Second, purpose. You see, having an old oil range rather than a brand spanking new one was a conscious choice. I prefer, partly it was cheaper, but also I prefer to try to reuse old things rather than buy new things. not having a little shop round the corner to go and buy my lunch in is part of my purpose in being here. I've moved to a remote place. This is the reminding myself that these inconveniences are part and parcel of the life I want to lead. Rather than just going, I want the life I want to lead without any of the inconveniences. Now that's just called stupidity. The huge inconveniences are part of the purpose of being here. My purpose. And there's another way in which purpose is important, because I immediately start responding by, okay, how do I prevent that happening again? Closed circuit television, CCTV, photographs, alarms, put a big fence around the property, guard dog, that key that I've got hidden outside the house. Take that away, somebody might break into the house. Put locks everywhere. No. That's not the life I want to lead. Part of the reason of living in a remote place is that I want to live with trust with people. I want to be able to know that I don't have suspicions of people. I just live my life without stress. And there's a downside to that. Somebody nicked my oil. There are many upsides to it. So I think, what kind of life do I want to be leading? What is my purpose? The third thing I work with is pleasure. I'm not saying I like being in the cold. I am saying I can find pleasure. I am saying that tonight, as I sit in this snug with the wood burner burning and the wind howling outside, I can find ways where this is an adventure, exciting, enjoyable. My purpose, becoming present and accessing pleasure. 3 ways to help myself be okay with things that aren't okay. And then get on with it. Nothing in life is ever going to be always okay. And nothing in life is going to be something, not everything in life is going to be something you can look at and go, oh, there's a really good reason for that, and it's a blessing in disguise. It's not. It's just a pain in the ass. But I can be okay with things not being okay. And you know what? The funny thing, I went out to get food because there's no food in the house and no way of cooking anything. And when I came back, the plumber who has done a lot of work on this house, who I bumped into earlier when I was out for a walk and told him what had happened, he had used the key to let himself into the house because he knows where it is, and left a electric stove for me. Little note saying, use this to cook. That's the sort of life I want to be living. That means leaving the key outside the house so people can do that. That's my purpose. That's the way I want to be. So, strange start to the new year. Okay. Strange start to the new year. That's okay. Even when it's not okay.